Greetings, surfers of the interweb, I am Parax11, reviewer of the good, the bad, and the underrated. More Flurry Heart should be interesting. Her parts in the crystalling were pretty fun, and it should be nice to see her in a more normal and slice-of-life situation, rather than almost dooming an empire. You're lucky you're so cute, otherwise that'd be unforgivable. However, since the last episode focused on babies had loads of middle fingers to continuity, annoyance courtesy of two of the most annoying characters the show's produced, and it leaving me in an even bigger tantrum than Pinky, though I was screaming for a different reason, I got slightly nervous. Especially as baby characters are usually kind of annoying in any show. Will this episode be some innocent fun and games, or leave me in floods of tears? Let's find out as we take a look at A Flurry of Emotions. This episode starts with Twilight offering to see sick foals at a hospital. You know, it always lifts my heart to see some of my favourite superhero actors go to hospitals, even if they're a little unappreciated.
So do you like Batman better than Spider-Man?
But Twilight's still keeping in touch with her subjects is one of the reasons I admire her, rather than becoming one of the Canterlot's snobbery.
I can't believe a whole class just came down with the horsey hives.
On school picture day, too.
Right, I'm guessing their mums left notes in crayon as well.
It's a lot, but if we stick to the schedule, I know we can get it all done.
And 3, 2, 1...
Surprise!
Hello, Murphy's baby, how are you doing? Shining and Cadence need Twilight to watch Flurry because random out-of-town friend. How convenient. While Flurry is killed by a gift avalanche. Just kidding, you can't kill the princess of screwing stuff up. The ragged couple leave all her supplies to see Spearhead. With a name like that, why didn't he become a soldier? And hey, we actually get a moment of Cadence not being perfect.
We could really use a night out.
You mean day?
That's what I said. Isn't that what I said?
Baby steps. Although I wouldn't mind Spearhead being an astronaut because then he'd be Spearhead from space. Oh jeebus, I think that's the most dated reference I've ever made. Playtime overrides work time and a really fast-paced chase scene ensues. Don't know why that's what DHX put their effort into, but who am I to question them? Eye movement does not compute. Twilight probably regrets firing Zephyr Breeze while Shiny and Cadence look at... art?
Is this art or a mistake?
The way I see it, most modern art is a mistake. Spearhead turns out to basically be buff Zephyr Breeze.
This is my latest piece. 1,000 nights in a hallway.
It's what Zack Snyder would make if you were an artist rather than a director. Back at the castle, Flurry decides to add some colour to the bleak castle walls, but Twilight turns out to be behind schedule. I am having serious Blue Exorcist movie flashbacks right now. At the toy shop, Flurry decides to do a more entertaining version of Cart Before the Ponies.
Thanks, but they were organized by color.
You'd think the Princess of Organization would know that.
I didn't think the foals would be interested in the unabridged history of amulets in Pony Latin.
Alien alicorns versus space pirates?
Wait, what? We need that!
Well, the science there is preposterous.
You're preposterous! As Twilight grows more critical, Flurry Heart does some artwork. Better than Spearhead's.
This reminds me of the time Flurry got into the chocolate pudding. She was like, uh-oh.
Whoa, art is so evocative. I wasn't even going for that memory.
Well, people take their own impressions from artwork, even ones the artist never intended. Christ, I'm pretentious.
We can't cancel Spike. The sick foals are counting on us. And the BAE would never throw in the towel like that. BAE? Best aunt ever?
Oh, my Celestia, Twilight's been calling herself Flurry's Bae. That would be like Doctor Who having emoji robots as the villains and... bugger. I'll get to that later. They go to the cakes to find the spawns of Satan. Out, you damn spots. You will never give the middle of continuity or want us with your souls out of... Oh, yay, Pinky.
BRB!
Stop using slang! I see Flurry Heart went to the Grommet School of Communicating Problems. And the King Solomon School of Crappy Ways to Solve Problems.
It's been so terrible so far that it can't possibly end up...
Damn it,
Sorry.
Now, damn it, Spike! At the hospital, Twilight reads a G1 reference to the foals.
It was the treacherous Grogar.
I can appreciate that. While Flurry gets triggered. She declares war on everyone's personal space to find her lost snail toy.
Hicketus, figgetus, miggetus, mum, prestidigitonium! Hicketus, figgetus, miggetus, mum, prestidigitonium! Oh!
Flurry Hearts, put us all down this instant!
I'm sure summoning the Raven effect would have done the trick. It would have turned everyone in the hospital into mad gibbering lunatics, but it would have worked. Flurry doesn't want to come out of her personal bubble, but scary Auntie Bear brings her out of it.
I've been a terrible aunt today. All you wanted to do was play, and I've barely been able to pay attention to you.
An okay lesson to not lose sight of those closest to you, as well as balancing your responsibilities and not taking on too many. As someone whose A-levels are coming up, I can vouch for that being difficult. Although maybe if you have a number one assistant who's been pretty on top of things in your schedule, you could give him some of that work to lessen your burden. Just a thought?
And this one reminds me of Flurry too.
How so?
It's small.
That's what Cadence said to you last night.
My art has always spoken to me about what I love, but knowing that it spoke to you about what you love speaks to me.
Well, good to know I'm not the most pretentious being in this video. Back at the castle, Flurry prefers relatives with character depth, while Cadence admits that asking to false it Flurry on such short notice was a bit dickish.
If you can't stand the heat, don't fight a dragon.
Now come on Spike, those puns aren't cool. So that was A Flurry of Emotions. A fun and cute episode. As I said, the biggest problem is probably Twilight not lending some of her work to Spike. While he gets yet another excellent appearance, being helpful, reminding Twilight of the jobs she has, and almost acting as an audience surrogate with his snark, as in the previous two episodes, I feel like he could have easily solved Twilight's problems. But other than that, I found the episode quite enjoyable. Twilight learned a valuable and relevant lesson while being really fun to watch. Shining Armor and Cadence actually getting a conflict was refreshing to see. The way they saw their baby in the artwork was both funny and touching, and I found Flurry Heart quite a bit of fun. She's clearly a little more intelligent and gifted in terms of magic than many other foals her age, hence why she was such a handful, but the ways her mischief was motivated, such as seeing the outline of Twine Spike in the peas, hence why that's her favourite, were entertaining as opposed to certain other babies who were just mischievous to me. She was cute without being annoying, and although I do think Twilight was kind of in the right for shouting at her, hope that doesn't sound evil for saying that, their interactions throughout the episode were funny and sweet, including the one at the end. Nice to see Twilight get more screen time with her niece and earn the title of Best Aunt. Overall, this episode was a fun watch, and I'll probably sit down and watch this cutie again in the future. I'm Parax11, thank you for watching.